Ladies and gentlemen, guys and girls, my name is Raven and welcome back to my channel. And I just want to say quickly, Happy New Year's to you all. I've been so busy lately, I kind of forgot that was a thing. So yeah, I had to go do a whole bunch of stuff with family and all that. But we're back and it's time to kick off the brand new year. I've gone through, I've got all your questions here. We're going to go through and answer them all. And by the way, thank you to everyone who asked a question. There are a shit ton of them, so this video might be a bit long. But anyway, that's the whole point. Let's get into it, shall we? So kicking it off with a very awesome question, but it's also quite a weird one, is Mr. Joel Hernandez. And he asked, do you like big girls, aka BBW, with a big smiley face. So when it comes to the whole like size thing, I prefer small girls in both size and stature. It's just my thing, I don't know why, and you know, medium-sized girls I'm good with, but no, Joel, yeah, I'll leave that the whole big girl thing up to you, man. Whatever floats your boat, go for it, my friend. And moving on to the next question, which is, are you from New Zealand or Australia? Can't really tell, and that is asked by the one who shall not have a name. Now, I'm from Australia, and Australian and New Zealand accents are very different. I know, like, from the outside, they might sound sort of similar, but they're quite different. So this is what Australian accent sounds like, and over in New Zealand, they fucking talk like this, eh? Oh, they're all like fish and chips and beach this. That's what New Zealand accents sound like. I just probably butchered that, but that's how we see it here in Australia, okay? They're all fish and chips and stuff. But now that that's out of the way, moving on to the next question, and that is from Darth Vader 57. And the question is, do you have a wife? No, I do not currently have a wife, and I have no plans to have a wife in the future as of this moment. Now moving on to the next one, and that is from Mr. Hackstar. And the question is, do you think Year 2 in For Honor will be good? Now, honestly, when it comes to the Year 2 of For Honor, I have kind of mixed opinions. I think they might do good, okay? They have all the makings to turn this ship around and to give us a fucking amazing Year 2, full of actual content, awesome content, and less bugs and all this, you know, bullshit that we had in Year 1. From what we can see lately, the devs seem that they actually care and they're quite keen on going into Year 2 and fixing the game. Now, obviously, dedicated servers is going to be a big thing where they fuck that up or not. Defensive meta patch, you know, the second part with parry and everything is going to be a big thing. If they fuck that up, you know, it's going to turn into shit. If they don't, it's going to be good. And then, of course, there's one big thing that they need to do, and that is get players to come back to the game. If they can pull all three of those things off, or adding brand new modes while increasing the modes because we have dedicated servers, so, you know, 8v8, stuff like that, adding in all brand new heroes, reworking the old heroes, if they can manage to do all of that, then I reckon Year 2 is going to be fucking amazing. And this game will finally catapult itself to a spot, you know, where it deserves, which is right up there because it's an amazing concept and amazing game when it's done right. But the reason why I'm hesitant is because the devs still have a chance to completely fuck everything up if they don't do it right. So I hope it's gonna be good. We'll have to wait and see. But thank you very much for the question. Now moving on to the next one. I'm gonna butcher the shit out of this one. This question comes from Mr. J.Diggestra. But the question is, do you like cheese? And I love cheese a lot. I eat cheese all the goddamn time. I'm pretty much 40% cheese. So sorry for butchering your name, and thanks for the question. Next question comes from the Magnetic Weasel. And he asks, should there be a South American / Native American faction in Year 2 of For Honor? Now, when it comes to adding any additional factions into the game, so I've done videos on this in the past with mercenary factions where they can get away with adding people from all different cultures, but you know, they seem to be set on this whole trifactor sort of thing, hence why we got, you know, Italians being moved into the Knight faction, and we got the Scottish guy being moved into the Viking faction, because they're trying to take people from other cultures that could semi-fit into the current factions we have, and they're trying to cram them in there. So the chance of us getting a, you know, separate faction coming into the game in the future is highly unlikely, and if they ever do it, I think they will go with a mercenary faction type deal, because that way they can, like I said, just put anyone they want into the game and they won't have to worry about adding a brand new faction every time. So it doesn't look like we'll be getting, you know, any brand new factions in Year 2, sorry to say. Now our next question comes from the Tartan Teapot, and the question is, what are my favorite bands? Now this one is very, very hard to like do because I listen to so much goddamn music and I love so many different bands, and throughout time, obviously, you know, I'm really into one band, then I get into another one, and so on and so forth. Back in the day, my utmost favorite band was Disturbed. I fucking love those guys when they very first started, like, you know, dropping albums. And then I listened to Rammstein, I listened to them a whole bunch, and then, you know, Opeth was, for the longest time, one of my most favorite bands of all time. But nowadays, there's heaps to listen to. Epica, The Birthday Massacre, Within Temptation, you got Asking Alexandria, a whole bunch of other bands like that. I listen to so many different genres of music. I'm actually tempted to just make a video going through all the bands that I listen to, so that way you guys can just go ham on that shit. Let me know in the comments down below if you want me to do that, by the way. If I get enough people interested in it, I'll do it. But yeah, really hard to choose just one right now, but thanks for the question. Our next question comes from Mr. Kilimanjaro, and he asks, how is your life as a security guard? It is actually quite interesting. It is a really hard job at times. It can be extremely fun at some times. It can be very boring at other times. And overall, you have to have diamond hard fucking skin in order to do the job that I do. Because not only do you see, like, you know, the best in people sometimes, but you also see the absolute fucking worst in people at times. You deal with people who are drunk, you deal with people who are on drugs, you deal with people who are fighting, people who try and rape, all that sort of stuff. There's lots of crazy shit that I've had to deal with in the past, stabbings, all this sort of crap. So when it gets bad, it gets really fucking bad sometimes, and yes, I have been hurt in the past. A whole bunch of crazy shit's gone down. But yeah, at the same time, it's not all bad. You do get to meet a whole bunch of interesting people, you get to have lots of fun, and lots of people try and buy you drinks, which is quite cool. But yeah, it's a crazy job, it's a fun job, it's a dangerous job. It's a job. So thanks for the question. Next question comes from Mr. Jackson Gibbons, and he asks, if there's one thing you could change about For Honor, what would it be? And currently the biggest thing that I would want changed in For Honor has nothing to really do with the game. It has to do with the philosophy and the devs behind the game. When the game first came out, they seemed to be in this very minimalistic sort of ideal style of how they want the game to go, where they'll put out certain features and stuff, but they don't want to go too far on it, or they don't want to use too many resources and money creating these certain things. I want them to go the opposite way with that. I want them to look at something and go, we want a 12v12 siege mode, let's fucking make it happen. And I want them to go absolutely ham with that thing and make it this big, extravagant, awesome thing that would just blow people's dicks off. They're starting to get the idea with that, with the fact that they've gone, dedicated servers is going to cost us money, but they were refusing to do it before in the past because it would cost them money. Now they're sort of changing their mind a bit, and they're going, you know what, fuck it, let's just do it. And now the player base is starting to get back into the game, and they're starting to, you know, thank the devs for actually listening and giving us what we want. I want them to be like that. I want them to give us what we want, regardless how much money it costs, because it will make them more money in the future, because it will get more players to come back to the game, and the players that are already here will actually keep playing the game. So I want the devs to go out there and be more ballsy with their decisions. Next question comes from Willy Wagtail. And I love his fucking picture. It's like a pug dog with a rifle. It's great. But his question is, do you think there will be a character that will use an animal like a bird or something at some point in time? Now, I've talked to people about this before, because in the campaign, for anyone who's played it, pretty much everyone has, there's that part where, you know, there's the wolves being programmed and the wolves run around and attack you and stuff. Now, I do think that they could add a character that has a feat that uses an animal, like they could have a raven fly down and poke the guy's eyes out or something like that. Of course, the wolves could jump on people. It can be done with a feat. I would love to see one done with an actual character that has an animal by its side, and it could be done. It sounds a bit crazy, but they could do it 100% because they already have the assets in the game. But that would also come right down to balancing. They'd have to balance it in a certain way that it makes sense and it's not completely overpowered. And of course, you know, they'd have to make it so the AI is not completely retarded and does what you want. But I think if the devs keep going the way they are, they might do something like this in the future. It's unlikely at this point, highly unlikely I might even say, but I think there is a chance that they might in the future. And it's something I would love to see. Next question comes from Dark Doomsday. And his question is, will you ever play on the Xbox One? And will you ever do something like play with subscribers, like, you know, once a month or something like that? Now, I do own an Xbox One, but everything that I do when it comes to recording and stuff is based around the PC. I'm not tech savvy whatso goddamn ever. And when it comes to, like, you know, hooking different things up and all that, it's never going to happen with me. I'm completely shit with that sort of thing. So I try and lock everything down to PC, because it took me ages to learn everything on the PC. So I want to keep it here. And also there's the widest variety of games on the PC. So one day maybe I might do something on Xbox One, but currently for the near future, it's all PC based. And when it comes to playing with subscribers, I am looking to do something like that in the future once I start streaming. Obviously, once I get a handle on streaming, because I've never done that before as well. Once I'm comfortable, sure, I'll play with subscribers. But in the near future, probably not going to happen. I'm trying to, like, you know, sort everything out. And once I'm comfortable with the streaming thing, then it shall happen. Now, next question comes from Biohazard925. And he asks, if you worked at Ubisoft, specifically on the For Honor development team, what aspects of the game would you want to work on and why? So if I was on the development team, the first thing I would start working on is obviously the brand new heroes, making them insanely good. Brand new maps and bigger maps, considering we're getting dedicated servers like 6v6, 8v8. I would work on a free-for-all mode so people can jump in and just fucking smash each other like that. I would also then start working on a faction war game mode to try and make that thing actually awesome, so you can only enter it as your faction, bring some proper faction pride into the game. And I would rework the whole faction war system that they currently have to fit with the faction war game mode. I would work on actual different kinds of armor, not just, you know, the same armor with some spikes on it, way more customizations. So that way people can have all different armor types and armor looks. Because right now the customization, you know, it's pretty lackluster considering you go from level, you know, rep 0 up to rep 40 or whatever, and you don't really change that much. I would make it so a rep 40 guy looks fucking crazy insane compared to a rep 0 guy. And I would also work on just the overall stability of the game, which they're doing right now, which I applaud with the dedicated servers, but I would just mainly work on the gameplay itself and making the gameplay as awesome as it can be. Of course, you know, all the stuff I talked about, I would just focus on that. Now, next question comes from XX Prince XX. I love the X's. And he asked the question that a fair few people have asked, and that is, what are your tattoos? What do they say? And, you know, are there any meanings behind them? So I have my entire arm that is tattooed, and this was my very first tattoo ever. I don't have any other tattoos except for this arm right now. I am planning to get this entire other arm done as well. It's going to be like a full sleeve thing. But yeah, I always wanted a tattoo, and I thought, fuck it, I'll just go get a tattoo done. And I'm not a man of half measures. If I do something, I go all the fucking way. So I just said, do my entire arm. So I'm going to try and figure out a way to like show you guys this. So this is the one that I got on the side. It's the biggest piece out of them. It's actually really fucking cool. I love it how, you know, there's the rips and stuff in it. I just wanted something that was like ripping through my skin and has this whole writing and going through it. So the writing here on this side is basically just lyrics from Lacuna Coil's song, The End of Time. I fucking love that song, by the way. But yeah, so that's just got the lyrics going all the way through. It's ripping through the skin, and of course I got like, you know, the burnt effects going on all around the place. And then there's a couple of other like, you know, rips and stuff across my arm just going around the place just to like sort of tie it all in together. And then this is so fucking awkward. There's that one there, which is basically just a prayer. You know, I got a couple of prayers there, one there, and the other one is this one, which is another prayer. And then the last one is my forearm, and this one basically just has all my family's names on it. So all the way down, my grandparents, family members, brother, sister, all that sort of stuff. So yeah, pretty cool. So yeah, my other arm that I'm going to get tattooed is going to be a hear no evil, speak no evil, see no evil type thing, but it's going to be real creepy. It's going to have a raven on my arm as well with thorns and a whole bunch of crazy shit. I'll show you guys that when I get it done. Now, next question comes from Mr. Lucas Ruder, and he asks, what is your favorite character, I'm assuming in For Honor? Now, when it comes down to my favorite character, it always is going to be Peacekeeper. I just absolutely love the way she looks. I love her style. I love the way she used to play when she was a lot quicker and she just flowed better. It seems like, for me personally, when they slowed her attacks down and slowed all her timings down, they didn't really fix her animation, so she just feels really clunky and weird to play now. It's a reason why I like Shaman, because Shaman feels nice and quick and fluid to play. I'm sure Shaman would have the same problem though if they slowed her down, but overall my favorite character is Peacekeeper. Another one I really like is Lawbringer, and of course Warlord as well. I love that guy. But Peacekeeper is my favorite. Now, next question comes from Lotharius Stormfist. Fucking love that name, Lotharius. And he asks, what was the first game you ever played? Damn, that's a hard one. Now, I remember playing games all the way back to, like, you know, the Sega at my Yaya's house and everything. We're going through, we're playing a whole bunch of games with my brother. We had the old, like, pistol thing that you'd hook up to the TV and everything. And then, of course, Nintendo, all the way up to PC. My first PC game ever was Age of Empires. Fucking love that game. I can't wait for the remake. But I played all the Marios and everything, but I honestly cannot remember my very first game I ever played. It was that long ago. But there were quite a few back then. So, sorry, I can't remember what the first one ever was but the first one I ever played on PC was Age of Empires. And he also says, Happy New Year and may the Emperor protect. And the Emperor does protect, my friend, he does. Now, the next lot of questions is from Biohazard925. He asked a few here, so I'll try and rapid fire through them. He said that in a video, he heard me talk about a squad car. I'm not a cop, because he asked if I'm from the police department. No, it was a patrol car for security. He asked, is there an update on when I'll start streaming? Currently, my area's got the go-ahead for the NBN, which will allow me to stream. I'm trying to get that hooked up and sorted at the moment, because we obviously got to switch over what I got now to the brand new plan. They got to come out and do all that sort of stuff. So I'm in the process of it right now. So I'm not sure on an exact date, but it will be very soon. He also asked, will I be using moderators / direct donations? Yes, both of those things will be a thing. Moderators, I'm not too sure at the start, but I will, once I obviously work out what the fuck I'm doing, sort something like that out. Now, he asked this, and a few people have asked this as well. What's up with the beanie? 1, I love this beanie. 2, I'll never tell what's underneath it, at least for the time being. And 3, it's basically glued to my head. So for all of you that are curious, you're just gonna have to wait until I finally do like a maybe non-beanie reveal thing. Who knows? But thanks for the bunch of questions there, Biohazard. Next question is from Matt Davis, and he says, how would you feel if Ubisoft made a zombie mode for Honor? That would be fucking awesome. I freaking love zombies. I love caving zombies' heads in. Dead Rising on the Xbox is one of my most favorite games because you can just go through and just murder zombies to your heart's content. I think it'd be pretty cool. No idea how they'd do it. It'd be cool though. Next question comes from Exploding Pig, and he asks, is it weird having summer when it's winter? Now, not really, because like, it's summer here and it might be winter somewhere else, but I'm not in the place where it's winter. I'm sure if I was going between countries all the time, it would be freaking insanely weird. But no, it's not that weird for me. And so what's weird for me is being a day ahead of everyone else. That kind of freaks me out a little bit because like when I'm trying to work out when games are unlocking and stuff, it's like all over the place. But no, it's like, it's normal for me. Thanks for the question. Next one comes from It's Your Boy Cool Kiddo. Oh, I can't believe I just actually said the phrase "it's your boy." That's awesome. And he asks, what kind of movies do you like? I love horror movies, I love action movies, I love kids movies as well, like Frozen and all that sort of stuff. Love that shit. I love thrillers, I love psychological thrillers. If you ever want to watch a really cool movie, check out a movie called The Exam. That movie's fucking awesome. And that movie will set you off on this long list of just movies like it that will just blow your mind. The Cube as well, check out The Cube. But yeah, pretty much anything with blood, tits, gore, shooting, and then kid stuff, anything like that, I'm into. Next question comes from Mr. Rodney Channy, and he asked, do I play For Honor on console, and will I be playing other games like Monster Hunter World and so on and so forth? I currently don't own For Honor on console, I mainly play it on PC, and as for other games, I am looking to play a whole bunch of different games, but what I'm planning to do is play a whole bunch of different games when I stream. So when I start streaming, I will be doing For Honor, but I will mainly be doing, like, you know, heaps of single player games I want to play through, and like, you know, a whole bunch of different games, because I can sit there, I can just belt them out, I can interact with the community and all you guys, and I reckon it'd be heaps of fun to just play a bunch of different games there, and of course, do my normal For Honor videos. But currently, nothing with the Xbox or any consoles so far. Next question comes from Mr. Germix17, I think it is, and he asked, do you think that the devs should have fun with the heroes and give them ridiculous executions and emotes like the Furiously Fast Mythic, for example? At this point, I reckon they should just go absolutely ham on that stuff, just go crazy, because there's no realism to the game anymore. I know some people try and say the game's supposed to be realistic. That died a very long fucking time ago. So I think they should just have some fun and just go crazy. Give us some cool shit. Right now, I'm more for, is it fucking cool? Then do it, over, is it realistic? Next question comes from I Watch YouTube, and there are a few here. First one is, what made you start YouTube? It was multiple things really. One, of course, money. Everyone does it for money. Anyone who says they're not, they're lying. But the main reason was, I thought to myself, I spend so much goddamn time playing games to begin with, why not try and turn it into a job? So I thought, if I'm going to spend freaking all this time playing games, I may as well just record it, upload it, and then, you know, try and build a community and see what happens with there. I had no idea I was going to get to this point, and of course, I'm still small, and, you know, there's people way bigger than me, but we're still growing. But yeah, I just initially thought, I play games all the time, I may as well give it a shot, and if it happens and I can turn this into something feasible, then why not? If not, I can still have fun with it. His next question is, do you genuinely like For Honor like me? Yeah, if I didn't genuinely like the game, I wouldn't really be playing it. I'm not one of those type of people who would just play something for the sake of it. If I didn't like the game, I would not be doing. Next question, and a few people have asked this as well, is how old are you and how's your day? My day was quite good, and I'm currently 25. I'm going to be 26 in February. And you also asked, where did I grow up? Because I like your accents. Okay, first thing about that is, I'm in Australia, Melbourne, but I have no idea how anyone can like the Australian accent. It is so shit. You got all these awesome accents like French, German, even American sound better than us. You just got, we're harsh as fuck, man. For me, there's so many more beautiful languages out there, and our accent's just sort of like, I don't know. But thanks for the questions. Next question comes from Mr. Harry Bolzak, and he asks, do you only wear one outfit? The answer to that is both yes and no. So I only wear sort of like, you know, the one sort of general theme of outfit. I wear black. I have many different singlets, but they're all pretty much the same sort of style because I like that. I wear many different jeans, same sort of thing. And I wear shirts and a couple of other jackets, and I got a whole bunch of, you know, jackets and stuff. But yeah, I wear different clothes, obviously, but it's all sort of just the same clothes that I'm wearing on different days, if that makes sense. I like black, leave me alone. And the next question comes from, and I'm sorry for butchering this, but it's Abdul Rahman Al-Qassar. And he asks, are you going to make videos about other games? And yes, I do plan to make videos about other games. Like I said, when I stream, I'm going to be covering lots of single player games, multiplayer games, all that sort of stuff, and it's all going to go onto the YouTube channel. So there will be heaps of games in the future. Until then, you know, when I get the streaming thing going on, I will be putting out different games, and I have in the past as well. Next question comes from Quintus, and he asks, have you ever accidentally nutted in a girl or killed her so she couldn't have the child? And the answer to that is no. I don't think I've ever nutted in a girl and killed her so she couldn't have the child. So yeah, no is the answer to that one. Next question comes from Mr. Claus Richardson, and he says, how tall are you? Now, I'm not a tall man. I'm Greek and Italian, so that was never going to happen, but I'm like 5'7", 5'8", feet, whatever, like nowhere near 6 foot or whatever. But yeah, 5'7" I think I'd be. Next question comes from Mr. Dustin Garcia, and his question is, have you felt the effects of Trump as president? Heavy as fuck. And what For Honor character would you say he is most like and why? First of all, Trump as president thing, I haven't felt shit. I'm in Australia, man. Like, I love watching American politics just because I just love watching what, like, you guys are crazy over there. So much going on. Like, over here, there's nothing. We're debating about just like useless shit over here, and you guys are doing like the end of the world stuff over there, and everyone's running around rioting and stuff. Where Australia, we're chilling. So no, I haven't felt anything so far when it comes to that. And what character would he most likely be like? Probably Warlord, because now he's the, you know, king of your country, and he has a whole bunch of cool shit, I suppose. I don't know, but yeah, that's that. Next one comes from Mr. Wyatt Earp Freedom, and he asks, what are my top 3 heroes? Now, I don't know if he means what are the top 3 that I like the most, or what are the top 3 that I think are the most powerful, but if we're gonna go most powerful, it would be Shaman, Gladiator, and probably Peacekeeper still up there. That one changes. The third one, I'm not really sure who would be number 3. Peacekeeper's good, Lawbringer's good. Yeah, the number 3 one I'm not too sure on, but the first 2 are definitely Shaman and Gladiator. But if it is what is my most 3 favorite looking characters, it would have to be Peacekeeper, Lawbringer, and Warlord. Next question comes from Mr. Pumpkin Boy, and he asks, I really like the whole channel theme you got going on. What inspired it? The dark horror Halloween thing? Honestly, I'm into like all that sort of gothic stuff, horror stuff, Halloween stuff. I love all that sort of crap. So yeah, I was just trolling through looking for an intro and everything, trying to find something, and I came across the one I currently use. And when I found out I could customize it with the pumpkin and everything and the Nevermore, I'm just like, fuck yes, I'm using this. It's amazing. It had a raven in it at the start. There's ghosts. I'm down. Next question comes from Mr. Radical Gaming, and he asks, what is your most favorite game of all time? That would have to be, without a doubt, hands down, a World of Warcraft original from vanilla up until Wrath of the Lich King. Now, yes, I did play World of Warcraft in Cataclysm. I played in Pandaria, not so much. I played Warlords of Draenor, and I'm playing Legion. I still play the game, but for me personally, from vanilla to Wrath just ate up so many goddamn fucking years of my life. And I was addicted as shit to that game. So it has to be World of Warcraft, hands down. Horsepipe68 asked the question, do you think that the Lead Pipe Legionary could be a hero for the developer faction? Now, here's the thing about this, okay? One, that would be fucking awesome, but I actually genuinely would fucking love to see everyone just in a game, and then all of a sudden a developer just pops in and just runs around just killing people and fucking people up and playing with people in random games. Speaking of World of Warcraft, one thing I used to love was a GM. The game masters used to pop up in game and actually do stuff. They used to spawn giant, like, you know, raid bosses out the front of Stormwind and all that sort of crazy shit because they had fun back then. They don't do that shit anymore, but back in the day, if you had a dispute with someone, a game master would actually rock up in the game and do stuff. I would love to see devs just do that, man. How cool would it be if you're just playing games and the dev just rocks up and just starts killing everybody? It would be crazy, and I reckon it'd be fun. So I reckon the Lead Pipe Legionary definitely should be a thing. Ray of Ostara asked about the tattoos, which I already answered, but shout out to you, Mr. Ray. Next question comes from Mr. Christian Sosa, and he asks, what type of girls do you like the most? Asian, white, Latina, black, etc. For me, I'm pretty much into anything, but I prefer white girls, I suppose. I've only ever pretty much dated white girls. So yeah, white girls, probably favorite, and then Latina, Asian, black, all that sort of stuff, whatever. Twin Master 123 asks, what's your favorite hero in For Honor and why? Already answered that, but thanks for the question. Organic Kestrel 6 asked, how old are you? Answered that, but thanks for the question. Shout out to Stefan Hartley as well. He's a military guy, and him and his army mates always watch my videos and comment all the time. So thank you very much, Stefan. I appreciate the support. Next question comes from Diablos, and he asks, what is your KD on For Honor? I actually would have no idea. You'd have to probably look up a tracker to find me. But yeah, I'm not too sure. I don't really keep track of that sort of thing. And he also asked, will you ever continue Divinity Original Sin 2? I was sort of stopped that thing because I was planning to do it on stream where I could play for hours on end and sort of like upload that at a time and stuff. So I am looking to continue it, but I want to do it on stream. It's also the type of game where you can really interact with the community and it'd be really fun to do that. Next question comes from Splashy Flashy and he says, why For Honor? There are so much other games. It's mainly because when I first started playing For Honor, one, it boosted my channel up massively. So of course I was going to stick to that. That's just common sense. But secondly, it's because the game itself is really fucking fun and it has so much goddamn potential. If they get this right in year 2 of For Honor, then the game's going to explode like it should have when they first released it. But the game itself is unique. There's nothing pretty much like it in the style that they do it. So yeah, I really like For Honor, but I do play lots of different games and I'm planning to cover more games anyway. So I'm not just locked to the one game. I will be doing more. But yeah, For Honor, it's an awesome game when it works well and when the devs aren't fucking up. Next question comes from Regular Commentator and he says, do you love your fan base? Considering this video is coming out to like 48 minutes long so far and I'm not even done here, that shows I love my fan base and I also answered pretty much every question I can. So yeah, it's just one thing about that though, it shat me to tears whenever I used to go through people's like, you know, comment sections and they just never talk to people. They never say thanks to their fan base and everything. I'm like, why? Like these people, you guys are the reason why I have a channel to begin with. So of course I'm going to go through and I'm going to say hi and talk to you guys as much as I possibly can, and I think other content creators should too. It seems like all these content creators, they all got such thin skin and they're so scared of their comment sections. Just talk to people. Someone's a dick, tell them to fuck off. To all the people who aren't dicks, say hi. Like, it's not that hard. Next question comes from a guy named me, and he asks, would you ever consider learning how to sword fight? Now, I did do a little bit of sword fighting back in the day when I was studying martial arts and teaching martial arts, but I didn't really get that heavily into it. I didn't do any of like the proper sword fighting stuff, but I would fucking love to sword fight. I really want to do LARPing at some point too. That would be freaking sick. I used to know a bunch of people who did LARPing, and yeah, they seem to have a lot of fun with it, so I'd love to do something like that in the future, yeah. Next question is from Ryan Polhemus, and he asked about the ink on my arm. Already answered that, but thanks for the question. Next question comes from Skrilla, and he asked, what games do you plan on playing in the future? There are a bunch of single player games I want to play that I've been holding off, like, you know, Evil Within 2. I want to play Vampire when that comes out. I do want to give Shadow of War a try, even though I fucking hate the loot box system thing in there, but I'm, you know, not going to play it past the point where the loot boxes start affecting the game. I'm not going to buy any, but I do want to try that game out. So there's a whole bunch of single player games I want to play, and of course there's a bunch of multiplayer ones that are coming out that I want to try as well. So, you know, there are a fair few games I want to try out. Next question comes from Luke Hart, and he says, why do willies look so yummy? And I don't know. That's something you're going to have to ask a girl or, you know, anyone you know that's into willies, because not my thing, so I don't know. I don't spend my time looking at willies, so no idea, my friend, but I love the little cat picture you got. Next question is from Brian Delicious, and he asks, will you ever play with subscribers? Already answered that, but thanks for the question. Next question comes from Wasim Latif, and he says, whereabouts in Oz are you? So yeah, I'm in Victoria and I'm in Melbourne, you know, sort of thing. So yeah, Australia, Victoria, Melbourne, I'm down there. Next question comes from Riley Cord 12, and he says, what is your favorite game of all time? Once again, World of Warcraft. Thanks for the question. Now here is one that a fair few people have asked. This question comes from Mr. Ian Pass and a few other people, and he says, what is the name of the teddy bear? And a few other people ask, what is the story behind the teddy bear in the background? So this guy right here is Mr. Brown. I've had Mr. Brown since I was born, and this motherfucker here is older than me. And you know, I ripped his nose off when I was younger, and he got his bum cut open. He's been through the wars. But yeah, I've literally had this guy since I was born, and I can tell you right now, if there was ever a fucking house fire here, this would be the very first thing I would grab. Okay, screw everything else. Mr. Brown's living. I love this guy. But yeah, you know, when you've just had something your entire life, you kind of tend to love the thing, even if it's a stuffed bear. Thank you for the question. And next one comes from Mr. James McKeer, and he says, how would you feel about Berserker buff? Maybe an unblockable added. I know for a fact that they said that they're reworking the Berserker, and he will need some sort of unblockables. It just seems the way that the game's going, everyone's going to need some way to open someone up. So yeah, I'd be fine with him having unblockables. I don't know why he didn't have any to begin with. At least maybe a top heavy unblockable would make sense after a chain. There's ways to do it. But yeah, I think he should get a buff to begin with, and I think he does need an unblockable. Next question comes from David Rittersen, and he basically has asked my opinion on Year 2 of For Honor, what are my expectations. I already covered that, but thank you very much for the question. Next question comes from Cap Z, and he asks, have you ever been catfished? And no, I've never been catfished. I didn't even know what catfishing was until, like, you know, a little while ago. And no, I've never really done the online dating thing. I've only ever, you know, gone out with people that I can actually meet in real life. I even hate talking on the phone. I prefer talking to people in person. That's why YouTube, when I first started, was so weird to me. But now I just pretend that you're all sitting right in front of me. That's why I'm so natural with it. But yeah, nah, never been catfished. Next question comes from Vazy E, and he asks, are you planning to grow your your channel to other games? Hopefully you'll stay on For Honor. Like I said, I already answered that. I'm planning to stay on For Honor, and I'm planning to do other games in the future. So we are going to be expanding, don't you worry. Next question comes from Father4C, and he asks, besides making videos, what would your ideal occupation be, and what would you like to do as a career? There's two other career options that I would love to do if I wasn't making videos, and obviously security. And that would be musician stuff. I did play in a band and stuff in the past, so I have done that before, but you know, work and everything took over that. So I would love to like travel the world playing songs and all that sort of stuff. It'd be fucking awesome. And the other one would be a police officer. It's sort of like a step up from security, where you can actually make a real difference. Security, you can make a difference at times, but police officers, you really can actually help people to a greater extent than you can as a security guard. So yeah, I'd love to be either a cop, travel the world and musician stuff, or I'm fine doing what I'm doing right now, making videos, security. I'm happy either way. Next question is from Shabby Dig 77, and he asks, what's my favorite character overall? I already answered that one, but thank you so much. Next question is from Betteroni and Cheese, and he asks, Knight with a giant warhammer or a giant Viking with a warhammer? That's a hard one, but I would have to go with, if it's the Frostborn, I'd go with the Frostborn just because I love the whole, like, you know, bear shore thing you can do, bear helmet and all that. Big Viking guy with a giant fucking warhammer, I'm down for. Jack the Ripper 425 asks, what state are you in? Victoria. Next question is from Torva Mesorum, and he asks, what's under the cap? I'll never tell. Next question comes from Eric Picard, and he says, do you like the Elder Scrolls games or the Fallout games? I fucking love Elder Scrolls games. I've played a bunch of them. I've also played the Elder Scrolls Online a whole bunch when it was in beta, and of course I still play it now. It's a good game. Fallout games though, I've never tried one. I've never played a Fallout game from memory, and yeah, I've just never really been into it for some reason. I've never just had the urge to try it out. I might one day, but as far as it stands, Elder Scrolls, yes, never really touched the Fallout ones. Khalid Al-Salman asked about Mr. Brown in the background. Already answered that, but thanks for the question. Next question comes from the last defender of Zotl, and he asks, will Shaman ever be balanced? That one, I'm not too sure about. I think Roman's trying to, like, you know, trying to keep Shaman alive for as long as he can before he ends up in the, you know, Centurion pit, but maybe one day. And he also asked, what has been your favorite part / method of interacting with your community? Honestly, it's the comment sections. I love just jumping on my videos and just answering you guys' comments, and of course I love doing stuff like this too. But yeah, anywhere I can sort of just jump on and answer questions and just talk to you guys, I'm down for it. Hunter Hines asked, what's my favorite game of all time, which I already answered, thank you very much. And A. Jakar asked, what's my favorite movie, which I already answered, so thank you for that as well. Up next is from Mr. What's Up, who asked me to explain my tattoos, which I already did, but thank you so much for the question. Now this one actually made me laugh. It's from Mr. Tundra793, who said, I was going to ask about your tattoos, which I answered, but he said, I can't sleep until you tell us about that teddy bear behind you. So now you know about Mr. Brown, okay? Now you can sleep, Tundra. Please, for the love of God, go sleep. This comment was like 3 days ago. Next question is from J Tressler21, and he asked, who is your main? Currently, I am playing Warlord, and I tend to, whatever character I'm playing at the time, I just make my main, but I tend to play so many different characters at once. I got like 3 or 4, maybe 5 or 6 characters that are all like, you know, rep 2, rep 1 and above and stuff. I never really stick to like one character. I tend to like, you know, go around and just play whatever I feel like at the time. But currently I'm playing a whole bunch of Warlord, and then who knows what I'm going to be jumping onto after Warlord. Next question is from Tyler Slujic, and he asked, do I play on Xbox One? When it comes to anything to do with the channel, no, I do not play on Xbox One. But yeah, I do have one Xbox One. Now, next question comes from Golovita Vladistov. I fucking love that name. And he asks, what I'd like to know is how in-depth would you like the character customization to go in For Honor? And he also wants to know what's my opinion on creating our own heroes in For Honor. So as far as the character customization goes, they're doing really well right now when it comes to, like, you know, the emblems. You can change the, like, you know, different colors on your gear. You can do all the different colors, ornaments. They're doing great in that department. But when it comes to the actual gear, from say a rep 0 to like a rep 40, they need to make it vastly different. Like I said before, a rep 40 guy should walk into the place and just be gleaming with this fucking amazing gear that just makes everyone cream their pants. And a rep 0 guy should look like a scrub, because technically right now he is a scrub. So yeah, I think they need to go more ham when it comes to the later customization options. And of course, make the earlier ones, they've nailed that. When you jump into the game, you look cool, but you're not as cool as you could be. But they need to make the end stuff cooler. And creating our own heroes, I reckon, would get really messy, but I think they could do it maybe in the future, but that's something that's not going to happen for a very long time. Next question is from Anonymous, and he asks, what is your favorite movie or song, and what For Honor character is too strong in your opinion? As for the favorite movie and favorite song, it's really fucking hard to pick just one, and I have already covered most of them in the past, so I'm gonna leave that one. But for which character do I think is too strong at the moment would sort of have to be Shaman. I'm not blind even though I play Shaman. She's still really fucking strong. It's just because she has too many options, but the problem that For Honor has right now is the fact that the original heroes have so many limitations when it comes to their kick compared to all the DLC heroes that you can't compare them. Of course, you know, all the DLC heroes are going to be overpowered compared to the older heroes, and honestly, they shouldn't be trying to balance the newer heroes around the older heroes. They need to buff up the crappier heroes to the newer hero standard, okay? By nerfing the newer ones, all they're doing is creating this weird mix where some newer ones are shit now, some are still overpowered no matter what they do because they have so much in their kit, and of course the older heroes are still shit and some of them are lagging behind. They just need to focus on the new heroes being awesome and then upgrade the older heroes to fit the newer heroes. Next question is from Anthony Whitaker, and he asks, were you ever a big fan of games like Dark Souls or World of Warcraft? So World of Warcraft, obviously, yeah, I'm fucking massive fan of that, like I said before, but when it comes to Dark Souls, truthfully, I heard of Dark Souls, but I had never played Dark Souls until Dark Souls 3. I played Dark Souls 3 when it came out, and I tried it, and dear God, I fucking was kicking myself in the ass I did not jump into that fucking series sooner. It was so goddamn good. It was so goddamn frustrating. I remember just sitting there for hours and hours and hours and like nearly breaking my controller because I kept dying to some of those bosses, but it was so goddamn good. But yeah, Dark Souls 3 was amazing, and I really hope they bring out more Dark Souls style games in the future because I want more of it. Next one is from Silent as the Night Bruh, and he says, what is your favorite hero in For Honor? Once again, Peacekeeper. Love that chick. Now the next question comes from Chris B, and he asks, just curious to know, how did I come up with the name Raven Gaming? Any special reason behind it? So essentially, I love my two favorite animals in the world are bears, Mr. Brown, and ravens. I fucking love both of them, okay? Now, whenever I play video games, I couldn't just use the normal spelling for Raven because, of course, everyone has it, and I don't want to be Raven42X724 just to get the fucking name. So I found a unique way to spell Raven that no one else really uses, so that way whenever I play a game, I can get the Raven spelling. So I just sort of went with that because I always use it for my game, so I thought just so there's the parity between my YouTube channel and what's in game, I'll go Raven Gaming. It has to have gaming in it so people know I play games, but yeah, that's pretty much the story behind it. I always used Raven in the past, so I thought why not just use it for my YouTube channel. Next question comes from Killer Frenzy, and he asks, out of all the possible heroes you thought of which were in my For Honor Year 2 videos, which one would I like to see the most? Honestly, the three that I would like to see the most is Kitsune for goddamn sure, the Frostborn, I really want to see the Frostborn, and it would have to be the Lone Wolf as well. Those three would be the ones I want to see the most. Next question is from Marco Campagno, and he asks, which of the For Honor heroes do you think are the best design look-wise, and which one is the best design gameplay-wise? So best design look-wise, it's hard to say, but it would have to be between either Peacekeeper or Warlord, just because the Peacekeeper looks so goddamn cool, and the Warlord just fits a fucking Viking Warlord so goddamn well. But when it comes to the best gameplay-wise, it has to be Shaman hands down before her nerfs. Yes, she was overpowered as fuck, but that's because she could just do so much. That's why I think she's the best gameplay-wise, because she literally played amazingly, she was smooth as shit to play, and she had an answer for everything. Now, the next question comes from someone whose name is in Arabic, it looks like, or something along those lines. I can't speak that, but the question is, what is your favorite meal? And that would have to be pasta. I fucking love pasta. I eat that shit all the goddamn time. And yeah, I can't get over it. It's so good. But thank you for the question. Next question is from IITZ Wombat, and he asks, if you could change / fix / add one thing to For Honor, what would it be and why? I pretty much answered the bulk of that before, so I'm not going to go over it again. But essentially, the main thing I want to see them go for in the future would be just to keep adding stuff to the game. As long as they do that and they keep the game alive and they keep making good decisions, I'm going to be happy, and I think they're on the right track. So thank you very much for the question. Next one is from Brett Dinuzio, and he asks, what is your favorite character in For Honor? That has been answered, but thank you so much for the question. Next one is from Monarchy of Forlorn, and he asks, what kind of music am I into? He really wants to know what I jam to and stuff. And like I said, I listen to so many goddamn different genres. I listen to gothic, industrial, symphonic, heavy, new metal, freaking pretty much anything you can name it. I also listen to a whole bunch of stuff that can't really be classed as metal, but it's sort of on the edge. I listen to heaps of stuff. Like I said, if you want me to make a video of every single band I listen to so you guys can check them out, let me know in the comments down below. But thanks for the question, Monarchy. Next one is from Paul, and he says, will I ever play with subscribers? Been answered, but yeah, man, I'll play with subscribers once the streaming thing happens. Next question is from Cass Venom, and she asks, my question is, what do you do for a living apart from getting YouTube money? I'm not big enough yet to be rolling in YouTube money. I do get a little bit, but it's not that much right now. But yeah, I basically work as a security guard. Next question is from Seb, and he asks, can you do another horror game playthrough? He really enjoyed the one I did of Outlast 2, and he suggests maybe Layer of Fear. I would love to do that. And like I said, leave me some comments down below of horror games if you want me to play some of them. Once I start streaming, I'll make sure to check them out. Next question comes from Frederick Rees, and he says, have you played any sports back in high school? I did used to play tennis a whole bunch, and I played soccer for a while, but football as well, but I was never like Aussie rules football. I know they're too different, and now I've probably started a riot in the comment section, but yeah, I sort of play tennis as my main thing. Next one is from Chaos Sniping, and he says, what is your opinion on this whole net neutrality thing that's going around? Not touching that one with a 10-foot goddamn fucking clown pole. Especially in this type of video. That's a video that needs its own sort of thing. But thanks for the question anyway, man. Next question is from Ruben Hooderman. And he asked, do I think that Ubisoft is going to fuck up year 2 of For Honor or not? Essentially, I think they have a chance to do the right thing and not fuck it up. And it looks like they've, you know, given me confidence with their previous moves, dedicated servers, all that sort of stuff. Only time will tell, though. That's pretty much all I can say on that. We have to wait and see, and I'll be here to cover it all. And he also asked about the Viking mask. I really do hope that they, you know, with the rework, that they will make it as good as the Samurai Knight one. They kind of can't fuck it up twice, right? Essentially what my thinking is. Mr. Coffee asked about my tattoo, which has been answered, but thank you so much, Mr. Coffee. Next question is from Mr. Shurao Shaw, and he asked, do you still play Destiny 2 on PC? And he was thinking about buying it. Is it worth it? So essentially, Destiny 2 right now, not worth it. I still play it a little bit every now and then, but they've fucked up so much goddamn shit, and they've done so many shady things. And right now, if you go on the Destiny forums, it's a fucking, there's a riot on there, because once again, they're doing corporate bullshit like EA did with Battlefront 2, and they've absolutely fucked the game. Whether they're gonna fix it in the future, who knows, but right now, Destiny 2, avoid it, don't touch it, not worth your money. Next one is from Mr. Booger Sugar, and he says, this one's just to basically just get all you thinking. If Pinocchio said, my nose will now grow, what would happen? All of you try and figure that out. Next one is from Little Hydrate, who asks how old I am. 25, gonna be 26 soon. Now for the second last question, we are almost there. Cryogenesis asks, what kind of heroes or warriors would you like to see in For Honor outside of the current factions? Also, if you could make your own weapons for the current or possible future heroes, what would they look like or have? So I've pretty much done a whole bunch of videos that cover all of these, but yeah, essentially I would love to see a Spartan. That's the main one. If I have to pick one from outside factions, I want to see a goddamn fucking Spartan in this game. Give it to me now, Ubisoft. And I want to see more Warhammers in the game if I have to choose weapons. More fucking Warhammers. I want Warhammers. And fist weapons and stuff. Claw weapons. Just go ham with it. And the lucky last question comes from Mr. Dragon. And he says, Raven, are you a true bogan? Now, I am not a bogan, I'm wog as fuck, but I'm pretty sure 90% of my audience doesn't even know what a bogan is, so for all us Australians or anyone who knows what a bogan is, I'll let you decide. Do you think I'm a bogan or not? But that is it, guys. We finally reached the end. It's going to be quite a goddamn long video, but it was really cool answering all your questions, and thank you so much to every single one of you who commented and asked a question. Hopefully this channel keeps growing in the future. Hopefully more people join the community and we can keep going and we can build this thing up from this point onwards. And hopefully one day we'll get to the really big leagues. But once again, from the bottom of my heart, thank you all so much. None of this would be possible if it wasn't for you all. So thank you. And that is the end of the video. So thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, leave a comment down below, and let me know your thoughts. As always, I love hearing from you all. And if you're new here and you like what I'm doing on the channel, feel free to hit that subscribe button, and I shall see you all in the next video. Have a good one, guys.